Hello, this is Roslynn back at you one more again. I hope everybody is doing blessed. I'm actually doing chat support. It's not chat live, it's chat support. I might do that tomorrow. I don't know. It just depends on how things are going. So I hope everybody is doing good. I usually don't start my chat off like I do my regular videos, but that's all right. I let time get away from me. I didn't realize what time it was. I'm like, oh shoot, I gotta get ready to start this up. So I hope everybody is doing good. I know there's a lot of different things that's going on with everybody right now, and it's like what did I say I was gonna start my videos off with today? The topic of discussion is supposed to be about the 5D plus. There's a lot of different things that's starting out. What's up? Happy Friday. Yes. What's up, Miss Lauren? What's up, Jackson? The topic of discussion is going to be 5D Ascension Symptoms, self-reflecting on trauma bonding, healing, codependency relationships, negative circumstances, guides towards positive perspective. We're gonna be just talking about stuff. If you've been with me on chat, I said I was trying to make it totally different on how we usually do chat, but it's just having let me turn this down a little bit. I'm just trying to get my vibes all in alignment. But yeah, just basically being able to help everybody. Is holidays, and it always, not everybody loves the holidays around this time. We get depressed at times. A lot of stuff is going on in the world. So I just want to be able to, get with my soul brothers and sisters, just to be able to find like a positive solution for negative situations. It's really good. Hey, Annie, what's up? Is that on point? Yeah. Just being able to do that, and there's a lot of people right now that's probably dealing with a lot of ascension flus. You're going through ascension symptoms right now, and I know it's like body aches and pains, and I forgot to take my pain reliever right before I started, but it's okay. There's a lot of different things that's going around where people are having ascension flus. A lot of it can feel like you're going through a flu, because I know this is like, here in Georgia where I'm at, it's like it's been like spring here right now, and it's just like sometimes it'll catch you off guard, want to get cold, or it wants to storm real bad, but the weather's been pretty good. But just be able to let different things you may be experiencing right now for the ascension of 2021. There's a lot of headaches that you're dealing with. You're raising and you're rising in your frequency. So it's just like when you're going from different situations on what you're healing from, because a lot of things are coming up right now and you can't run no more. A lot of times we're dealing with different things in our lives, and we want to be able to keep ourselves occupied so we don't have to think about negative thoughts. But Gaia, universe, Mother Earth, God, all of them, they're like, no, you're not going to sit up here and be ignoring this. Stop curving the situation when you need to face it. And you're going to be going through all those different things where your mood is going to change a lot. So there's a lot of different things that you have maybe forgotten about. There's just popping up and coming to the surface, and it's just like certain things that you may have suppressed it, even though you suppressed it. But it's just like right now you're doing a lot of healing from trauma, whether it was childhood, even stuff when you're merging from different timelines of when you were living before. You're going to have, I've been like touching my cat, and then I'll see electricity come from my hand, and she'll be looking at me, and she'll pop me and be like, you're going. So there's a lot of different things where you're probably seeing static electricity popping up. So those are the different things that you're maybe going through. I had toothache pain. There's a lot of things that's going on with people having toothaches. It's like, if you're that type of person that grinds your teeth while you're asleep, or even do that, nervous, people do that with their nerves. They start, grinding their teeth. And since you're opening up to the spirit realm, whatever your gifts are, you're probably getting a lot of ear ringing. you know, and it's just like when you're jumping from one frequency to another and you're opening up, it could be, you know, you're getting different communications just from the world within itself, Gaia, and everything. What else did they say that was going on? You're going through different body temperatures. So there's a lot of different things that's going on, to maybe you start feeling like you're raging. You know, if you can't deal with anger that well, you know, if you're a person that can't deal with anger that well, it's probably going to be normal for you. But there will be different things where it can be like you're a ticking time bomb. It could just get very heavy. If any of y'all are waking up and you're like, yeah, temperature, yeah, because it's like at middle of the night. But I take melatonin when I go to sleep, but then all of a sudden I start getting really cold. My daughter's like, Mom, it is hot in here. What are you doing? You know, and it felt like my blood's thinning. So that goes for that too. In different times, you may wake up in the middle of the night. My time of sleep has really been messed up. You know, I'm through it as well too. So if you're having like really crazy dreams, you know, really crazy dreams, there's a different vivid dreams, or even visions of angels, as well as your family that has passed on. If you have like, you know, like the ones that I have, if you got medium gifts, as well as, you know, you're talking to, you know, if you're a conduit or an anchor, you know, you'll get a lot of communication from spirits that passed on. You'll hear them whispering a lot, or different things. Sometimes they'll start talking in different languages, but in some kind of way, your soul can communicate with them in whatever language they're telling you about. So you may be feeling that as well. Is I got to control your temperament. Yeah, you know, and that's what they're telling you right now. If you can, you know, that's that time where you need to go through prayer. You need to allow yourself to have moment to yourself so you can meditate. You know, if you have issues where you have children, you know, if you can at least like go to the bathroom, you know, turn the shower on and just put, you know, headphones on and just listen to like a 5 or a 10-minute meditation so you can get into your alignment. Because I know there's some people, you know, if you're an empath and a lot of your children are going through that same thing too, but it's just like with you kind of, you know, you're going through something. Yeah. You're kind of going through something, but you have to understand too as well. It's like in my office. Yeah, if you got an office, Lauren, you know, and you can lock that door, you know, just go ahead and, you know, put the music on and just try to listen to it the best way you can, 5 or 10 minutes. If you can do 30 minutes, that would even be better, you know, because you're dealing with a lot of people, especially if you're in office work and you're around a lot of energy. You have to understand you're going to be dealing with a lot of people that are facing their own demons right now. And there's some of them that are running away. So your energy is going to be clashing with a lot of people. So you have to make sure you're shielding yourself before you leave home. Yeah, it's like referring to the bathroom. Oh, yeah. Okay, I got you. And you're going to be dealing with a lot of those different things that are taking place. So it's just like ear ringing, you know, you're not, your sleep pattern is off. You know, right now my body is having very bad aches, but I've been working out and as well as dancing a lot today because I ate, you know, and it was just like I thought I was about to have the itis. So I went ahead and put some music on for like 2 hours and been dancing. So and now my body's feeling it. He's like, yeah, I see it 4 a.m. He's like, you too? Yes, girl, yes. I'm like, I'm tired. I didn't know if I was going to do videos today, but I said, no, I'm making a commitment to myself, you know, so I only can stay here I'm going to probably do session with y'all probably an hour and 15 minutes, maybe 30. It's like sometimes microphone on. Oh, let me see. Is that kids driving? Oh yeah, it's like that. But you know what? You probably have to find something. If you can try to get your kids to meditate too, because you have to understand if you're an empath, you got little ones that are empaths too, and they don't know how to deal with that stuff. You know, even we don't know how to deal with it at times if we don't know what we're looking for. Because right now, where everything is going on, everything is coming up to the surface. It's just like you're boiling cabbage or something like that, chicken or something, and all that yucky stuff just comes to the pot. You know, it's like all that stuff at the top of the pot, and you're just like, what is all that? That's all the stuff that's not needed. You know, everything is cleansing itself. So you have to understand everything's coming to the surface. Your face might be breaking out. You know, if you cut your hair, you know, if you shave your body, your hair is coming back really fast. Yeah, it's naturally empathic. Yeah, but it's just a lot of them as well, Jackson. You have to understand, especially if they're babies and they're toddlers, they don't have fear. You know, so they it's just like their energy is very potent until we start teaching them, hey, don't touch that, hey, don't go there, or hey, don't go there. They're open to it. Yeah, as I notice they react. It's like, yeah, you have to be able to do that, because it's like even my cat, my female cat, she's like very clingy right now. It's like now, she's very clingy. She always wants to lay up under me. And there's and then my other male cat, he wants to, hide, and he's very depressed. And if you start touching him, he start growling. So I gotta leave him alone. Yeah. And it's just like you may have crying spells, and it could be sadness, or it can be something. I know a lot of me, I've been very heavy in my emotions, but it's not sadness, but it's just pure gratitude, because I've been dealing with so much. And, since, there's a lot of things that I'll talk to y'all about, and especially after I did that video about my, what brought me here, I've been feeling so much better after that and during that, so it made me feel very good. But I wish I can just get my sleep intact. That'll be really good. But yeah, you're going through those different things, and it's hard for you to keep focused. If any of y'all had that issue, is where I could be praying, and next thing you know, my thoughts go somewhere else, and I'm like, oh God, Lord, I'm sorry. It's just like, he's like, hey, over here, Roz, over here, and it'll be something like that. I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. And I'll be trying to, show my gratitude on what I'm showing gratitude about. And they'll be like, here's a monkey, and plus I got ADD too. So that is really acting up for me. So, dealing with all those different things. I'm gonna send, there's a link that I put in here. I'm gonna put in here after, we finish the session, because there's different things that they say that you may be dealing with. And stop laughing at me. They're like, oh yes, God, I'm ready for this. And oh, look, there's a kangaroo over there. Oh, well, yeah, I'm grateful for this. It'd be like that. And he just, are you back? Are you okay? It'd be stuff like that. So it's just like a lot of different things, is where you don't want to be around a lot of people right now. And it's very hard for a lot of people, because right now you have to think about it. Everybody's past trauma, whatever you dealt with, whatever things if you're grieving, if somebody passed away, there's a lot of different things that may be coming up. Maybe the people that you really missed that has passed over, they're coming to you in your dreams, or you may hear them talking to you. Is very faint. That happens at times. So it's just you're not just elevating to the 5D, you're going past that. You're transcending what other things that you're talking about. Trying to make sure I'm telling y'all all the things that they're, that you may be dealing with. You're going through, your nausea. He's like, yeah, grieving a lot. Yeah. You're going through nausea, depression, loneliness. If you can get up in the morning and it makes you feel like you have been either working out, like if you've been very dedicated to working out, and if when you get up after you don't worked out, like running the treadmill, doing very extensive cardio, and you wake up and it makes you feel like either you've been having some wild relations with someone, and you ain't, or you've been fighting, you've been in a car accident, or you just been working out. It makes you feel like your body don't really went through some stuff. Yeah, it's like, yeah. It's like on Monday, it made a skeleton. Yeah. And it is, you going through those different things. And it's like some people, it's like their energy is very intense. It's like, I'm tired to take medicine for that. No, only thing like I take, with mine is just like, pain reliever, acetaminophen. That's all I take, or I'll have things with my teeth. My mouth will start feeling really, really sore. It's like not, like a toothache, but that heartbeat type pressure. And I'm like, I don't like that, and it gets to that point where it's even right here. The third eye will be vibrating so much, it's going to the teeth. And I'm just like, cannot. And it's just like, they're saying that it's just like your body is, even if you're not ready, your vibrations is like, we're heading to the 5D. So it's just like, even if you start talking, is that, do you have an evil eye, Roz? I can have one if I want one, but I try not to do that. I try not to do that. I don't want to do that. I have a good eye. I don't have an evil eye. I got one, but I only use that in case of emergency. So put it that way. Like, no. A charm. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I do. But yeah, it is if you notice, have you been manipulating time? Like just like before I got here, I didn't even realize how late it was. It's like, yeah, I know. It's like a doctor wants to give me antidepressants. I don't, a lot of people don't want to do that no more. A lot of people say they'd rather not, because it's just like, did I press pause or something? Oh, okay. Yeah. To me, I'm not diagnosing anybody, but it's just like, I know a lot of people, don't want to medicate themselves. A lot of times that zombies you out. It just depends, because I remember I was on different stuff, and you could be talking to me and I'll be just sitting here, and you can just ask me, how was my day, and I'll burst out into tears, because it's like my voice want to say one thing and my mind was on something else, and I couldn't function. Couldn't eat. Everything tasted bad, but it just depends. I'm not telling somebody to stop taking their medications, because I don't know what you got dealing with, so I don't tell stuff that to people. Yeah, Caroline, it does. And it's just like, with me, I stopped taking because I got addicted to stuff like that. So the only thing that I take is over-the-counter stuff. I don't take anything that is like that, so I don't want to get addicted to stuff like that again. So it's just like a lot of people are wanting to be open to their spirituality, and to me, my opinion, it just depends. Yeah, it depends on what it is you gotta, what medications you're dealing with. But to me, it just kind of close you off. And it's just like, universe really wants you to be able to really face whatever you're dealing with, because there's a lot of things that we suppress, whether or not we want to admit it or not. There's a lot of things, and it's sad. There's a lot of things you done forgot about, and they'll come up like, oh my God, I forgot about that. And you don't want to think about it no more, but universe is just telling you not to. They want you to observe it, not absorbing that feeling again. Don't make yourself go through that, but allowing you to know this is coming up. Did you learn the lesson? Do you understand the lesson, so you can set that free? So a lot of that stuff is coming up, and it's like really, really rapid. It's really rapid. So you're dealing with a lot of those different things. But as for me telling other people, yeah, it's like when I get anxious, it causes, yeah. And it's like with mine, a lot of people different told me, like, Roslynn, I stopped taking, these medications, because it's like I want to be able to, feel my spirit. But a lot of things that you're taking is kind of like blocking you from it. And to me, certain medications is just like you're trying to numb that pain, and I understand that they do that, because a lot of people, they've gone through different things in their life and they need that medication, but there's a lot of things that you have to be able to allow yourself to feel, so you can recognize it, understand what happened, allow yourself to depart from that, and forgive whatever took place, the person, the situation, yourself, so you can set yourself free from that. And, I just didn't like taking medication where I know I have to be able to feel it. I don't want to be walking around here and next, it hits me like a freight train, and you're not going to be able to handle that. But it's just like certain people, they, there's a lot of different people that got, your energy is very intense. So there's a lot of people out there that have mental issues. I won't lie about that. But I also know a lot of us with these gifts, they label them as mental issues, and they're actually just gifts that we have. But, it's just like I said, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a pharmacist. No. So I'm not going to give my intake on whatever somebody need to take medication for. You ain't suing me. You'll be practicing, because I ain't about to do all that. Yeah. There's a lot of people that are threatened right now, and you have to understand, with you being a Heyoka, the more you're open to your gift, the stronger you get. The more stronger you get, your vibration gets intense. The intensity, it disturbs a lot of people. Like you really a trigger. You walk around trigger happy, and that's just with your vibrations. You start picking up on enemies that you didn't even know. And you'll notice it, especially if you're out and about, or you're at work, or if you got to go to school, or you got to interact with a lot of different people, and all of a sudden they just start picking, they start being aggressive. I've had a couple of them do it the other day, and I'm just like, well, tell me how you really feel. You know, and I knew it was universe testing me just to see, you know, just to see what I was gonna say. And it was just a lot of times, you know, I tell y'all, somebody come on here stupid with me, I just allow myself just to block you and keep going, because if I see you up on that troll mess, I'm not even going to give you that airplay. I'm not going to do it, you know, because I just don't have time for it. I got better things to do. Yeah. Because you got to stop yourself. Yeah, because a lot of times it's just, now with me, I feel like with me, when I've come into terms with a lot of things, and it hasn't been easy to do that. Yeah, it's like they are nothing but love and light. You have to. And a lot of times you have to understand you're getting tested around every corner, because you're hitting new heights, and God and universe is trying to see if you really have learned the lessons from your past. Because a lot of times they'll bring somebody with you with the most darkest, nastiest vibrations they could ever possibly be. And it could be something positive, and they get so personal about what you said. And it's just like, dude, if you got some issues about what I said, obviously it must have triggered something that you choose to avoid. They ain't got nothing to do with me. That's more of a personal problem. You know, you have to be able to go. Yeah, you have to. You can't allow yourself to do that, because a lot of times before, I used to get really pissed off when people come at me crazy like that. Or I'm just like, why is your energy so suffocating? Can you go find something to do other than being in my business? Now I'm just like, take notes. You might as well learn something. You know, now it's just like that. You know, you have to just pray for your enemies. You got to pray for them folks that they're a war against themselves. A lot of times we have people against us, and, you know, we can get upset. And we'll sit up here and say, like, it's not all love and light. Yeah, it's not. But it's just, like, he's that shitty. But yeah, it different strokes for different folks. You know, everybody is on their mission. You know what I'm saying? If you know what kind of things you have dealt with in your life, you know the downs you had, the ups you have, but now is at that point you feeling a little bit more aggressive with your change in your life. You're not going to allow somebody. And I hope you're having. Hey, what's up, Jess the jellyfish? What's up? And I hope you're having a great day. You too. Yeah, it's just so many things. You're going to be aggressive. Like, you know what? I can't allow myself to get in my way. You know, and a lot of times we stand in our own way. They will bring people towards us just to see, are you going to allow that person to mess up your whole vibe? You know, because they were like, a lot of times we feel like people are messing with us. Yes, there's people out there that's messing with you. There's people that really, you just because you flow in peace, you really pissing somebody off because you flowing in peace, because they're still at war with themselves. They're fighting. And they get mad at you because they don't feel that way. I've been like that at times. Like, love and light, no. I really wanted to flick a finger off or say something else. But it ain't had nothing to do with that person. It was all about me. You're fighting yourself. The only time somebody can come in and piss you off is if you allow them to. And a lot of times we got to understand it's not us against the world. Yeah, there's a lot of people that are very disturbed out there. They're looking just for, got V for vendetta for everything. But when you know where you sit at with yourself and your spirit, your higher self, there's going to be some things that's going to interact with you, because that's a lesson that needs to be learned either from that person's side that's interacting with you, or you from them. And there are certain things that you can just avoid on your own just by not speaking to it. People are running around here disturbed. You got to pray for them enemies more than you got to pray for yourself half of the time. And people are like, why I got to pray for my enemy? You are facing your emotions. You are facing your triggers. You are facing your madness. You're facing your sadness. All these different things that's going into your life. I had to tell somebody the other day, we're going through these mental changes. I don't want to say mental issues, but we're going through mental changes as well as challenges. And there's a lot of things that's coming up where it makes you hot-headed. It makes you want to go back to your old ways. It makes you want to crawl back to your numbness and all that. Yeah, them self-reflections is really, really, really triggering right now. And there's things where you have to ask yourself, you have to separate the pros from the cons. If you're really trying to allow yourself to heal, because some days we're going to have bad days. It happens. Some days you're going to have those bad days, and it will hit you like an avalanche. Everything's coming at you at one time. But then there are going to be days where it can be that energy. You have to understand, the devil knows your potential. He's just trying to make sure you don't. So he's going to come whispering to you at night. You get up and all of a sudden you're in a crappy mood. As soon as you wake up, the devil been talking to you all night. You know, I had some kind of, sexual, sensual stuff in your dreams. That was the way he gets to you too. If you got addictions, there'll be different people that, maybe using. And it could be somebody you hung with. And you ain't seen them for a minute. Next thing you know, they pop up. Hey, what you doing? We're going to get party. We're going to do a couple of things, get a couple of snacks, some treats. And, you already know the code words for stuff. Hey, you want to come back and hang with us? You're welcome to come. No, I'm okay. Yeah, that was the devil and God testing you right there. You're going to go back because stuff been really crappy for you lately. Are you going to allow yourself to numb yourself for the things you need to be sober facing? All those different things. Yeah, you have to have strict discipline with yourself. And a lot of times it's hard. It really is. Because right now, I get tired. I get really tired, but I have to force myself. Just like last night, I did like 2 videos. And I noticed I started getting really aggressive. And I said, let me just stop. Let me just stop. Let me allow myself to go sit down and press pause for a minute and start back over the day. Yeah, you have to allow yourself, because you'll even know when you're stepping out of bounds with your truth. It could be something, and then you can get very judgmental, very critical, and it could be about somebody else, or it could be about celebrity news, or something like that. And you'll hear your mind like, what are you doing? And you just still talking, and then you'll start pausing on yourself. And you're like, wait a minute, what are you doing? We're not going back there. Yes, there's craziness going off in the world. Yes, but you can't place judgment. Even though you may feel some type of way, it could be me while I'm seeing something. For example, that Brian Laundrie in that situation with Gabby. I was very judgmental about that. When I said because I have a baby that age, and all this different stuff. And then y'all know, if y'all been with me for a while, I got those gifts. So I'm seeing things before it's happening. I was telling my friend, hey, they about to find him, and they're going to find 2 other people right next to him too. They're connected. Next thing you know, they found him exactly how I said it was, and there was 2 other people behind him. But I'm going to just leave that where it is. But it was certain things like that where it's like a lot of triggering things is coming to you. But God will allow those things to take place for you to be able to recognize where you went straight left at. Yes, I went straight left, but I went right. I was pointing right, but you went left. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of things that's coming up where you're getting that test. And a lot of times we can get aggravated. Like, why does God keep testing me? Yeah. It's like, crap, you have some big balls. It's like, you can be proud. Yeah. It's like I try to do my best. I speak, but I try to be very careful. I try to be discerning, because I feel like, God gave me this gift for a reason, for me to see things. A lot of times I don't like seeing it because I can't stop it, and there'll be different people that I talk to. And, if you've been on chat with me for a while, you'll hear how things are blurred out. And next thing, one of y'all will sit up here and text me like, Roz, you were talking about the tower that came down. And I kept on seeing that tower card that came down. Next, that thing in Miami happened with the condo, and it came down, it was on fire. And I said it here a day or 2 before it happened. I don't like stuff like that, because it's preparing me for different stuff like that. If you're a conduit, and then you're an anchor, they're showing you about that intense spirit that's getting ready to pass through you. And then a lot of times you'll see it, you'll feel it. I get different kind of stigmata type stuff when I start feeling things that, people are going through right before they're passing. I don't like it. But there's different things where you can't help, this is what your gifts are, and everything is getting very intensified. So it's just a lot of different things that's coming up where God will test you, where universe is testing you. Even your higher spirit is testing you, just to see where you went wrong at. Like, better, because a lot of times, it's not how you said, how I found your channel years ago. Girl, you've been with me almost since day one. I don't remember. I think it was something about a gift or something like that. It was some kind of, I forgot. I ain't even gonna lie. Is that how is narcissism in your eyes, chat? Break that dumbitdown.com for me, Jackson, because I really don't understand what you were talking. I really don't understand your question. So can you dumbitdown.com for me? It's like, wait, are you talking about the vibration from narcissism? Is that what you're talking about? Or somebody provokes me with it? Is that what you're asking? because I want to make sure I'm answering the right question to make sure. Yo, it's okay. No, because are you asking me about my narcissism? Because I told y'all before, I used to have narcissistic vibes, and I had to check that. Oh no, well, if you can change your question so I can answer. I don't know. I don't want to sit up here and give you the wrong answer. It's like how many people have narcissistic tendencies. Yeah, I mean, it's just people have the narcissism. You know, some narcissists is not going to admit that they have it. Yeah, it's like have tendencies, you know, and it's okay when you can recognize and say, I have narcissistic vibrations. I have narcissistic traits, you know, because if you've been exposed to those different things, you know, as growing up, I was. So, you deal with those different things, and if you notice where that change, that habit is coming, because we're all breaking those generational curses and all those different things. So it's just like with my situation, I grew up with my mom and her, you know, her ex-husband. My mom's, you know, I don't call him my dad, my adopted dad. I just say my mom's ex-husband, you know, and my mom had him as well because they grew up in a very harsh environment, just like her husband did and his wife, you know, did. So there's a lot of things I got exposed to that I thought was normal. I normalized my stuff until I become awoke. You know, I started noticing tendencies that I even had with my ex. We were very toxic towards each other. And hey, sis, he's like, girl, he's like, I got you, girl, you keyed up here real quick. Like, girl, I got them tendencies. But when you allow yourself to know, like, okay, this is very raggedy to me. This is very toxic to me. I need to allow myself to, you know, fix this. You're trying to figure out what can you do to fix this. And that's when you know, because me, I always feel like, can a narcissist really heal? I would love to know that. I don't know, but I only can talk about myself. I'm not a narcissist, but I've been exposed to that. I had narcissistic traits. I had narcissistic vibes as well as tendencies. So, you know, I keep it real. You know, it takes a lot. And I know that I'm appreciating when universe is actually, you know, is testing me just to see if am I going to express, you know, am I going to express my vibrations on giving something my energy that don't even need no energy. It's like me being silent, me just ignoring you. That was a response. Or am I going to allow myself to, I can speak to you, but I'm going to be very, you know, I'm going to shield myself. I can talk to you. You know, there, you know, because like I said, I had an example yesterday where somebody was like, oh, this is bullshit, da, 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 da. You know, and I'm just like, you know, you were giving power to a situation that wasn't even about you, but you directed it off to yourself. The energy was sitting there boldly. And I calmly answered. I trust me, they ain't never answered back. So obviously I must have hit a nerve. But it was good, though. It said, no, they can't because they don't know. It's like they're mimicking, you know. But it's just like, to me, I would really love to know, you know, can narcissists really heal if you want to? I believe anybody can heal if they wanted to. But when it comes to healing, there's a lot of things that, you know, is like a kryptonite with narcissists. You got to tell your truth. You got to be honest. You know, you got to hold yourself responsible. You can't be a victim of circumstances. You know, you got to keep it real. And those are a couple of things that you can't do. When you tell a narcissist about themselves, they get real pissed off. They'd rather for you to glorify them. That's what they feed off of. But when you start saying you did this, you did that, you already looking for a fight. You know, and it is what it is. But, you know, you have to allow them to be a guest in their own mess. You have to be able to just look, I'm gonna just go ahead and send some prayers and some miracles. Only God can work with you. I can't. That's just too much for me. But yeah, it is. It's just like you're dealing with that and different things. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead. We're gonna go to, you know, codependency, but I'm gonna go ahead and put that link in. Like I said, I don't know if I said it and got caught off guard, but I'm gonna go ahead and put that link on there about the different ascension things that everybody is going through. But it's just to be talking about, you know, codependency issues. You know, there may be people that are still dealing with codependency type connections. Maybe you may have different traits of codependency. If you've been passive aggressive, yeah, it's like they truly don't understand. I'm in therapy, and that's the first thing, that you have to be able to accept everything for what it is, no matter if it's negative or positive. You have to be able to accept it so you can be able to move on. Yeah, it's like, it's all about accountability. Yeah, and you already know that it's like everybody grown until it's coming to tell the truth, apologize, or take responsibility. And there's a lot of things that folks will haul ass from. Oh no, because you don't even know. You don't told so many lies, you can't even remember what the truth is. So I'm just like, this is a headache before I even start. No. But yeah, it's just like you're going through these different things. You know, are you still attracting codependent type vibration? There's a lot of people that, you know, where universe is telling you, you know, it just seemed like the world just stopped and you're by yourself. And it's not like that, but it's just like universe will send you in certain directions where you can just focus on yourself. There's times where I was in my life where I kept bringing different energy into my life. And it wasn't good, you know, because if I break up with one person, I just didn't want to think about that no more. I jumped to another person, and so forth and so forth. And then your energy was just nasty. You know, even bleach could even kill that. But yeah, and it was just like I had to allow myself. I tell people I've been, you know, I ain't submit to nobody in almost 5 years. Yeah, give me a little cocky sometimes, have an attitude, but I'm good. You know, I say I'm good. People are like, girl, you doing it on purpose? Yes. Yes, I see different things around me. How I'm good. I'm good. I'm so good. I'm not doing that. But it's just like there's a lot of people that are going through different situations in their life where you are just attracted to codependent type people. We're toxic towards each other. We're even toxic towards ourselves sometimes. Because I can sit up here, I'd be in a whole funk. You know, it's like, wrong. Hard to see. You like, oh, it is. But I'm like, I can be very toxic to myself. I can talk to myself in the most harmfulest way. And I mean, you know, because I tell y'all, I keep it very, very real. I keep it ugly with myself at times because I was going through a lot. I still do. But I allow myself to take that day at a time. Even if I spent my day crying, at the end of the day, I'm going to tell God thank you, because I actually had the courage to face the things that I really had to make peace with. You know, just because everybody else is doing their own thing, whether they near me, they connected to me. I mean, I can send love towards your way, but you have to be able to want to open up to it. And a lot of times when we're even codependent towards ourselves and we're really wanting to feel that love, like from a family member that passed on or just from God in the universe, we don't realize that funk that we're holding is shielding anything that can be very, you know, promising or very comforting towards ourselves, because we're so focused on either how somebody did us, what kind of struggle we in currently right now, where things ain't going our way. Yeah, just like, girl, you got your ugliness is on autopilot. It's really on autopilot, and it can be very nasty. So you have to allow yourself to see where that vibration is coming from, because there's a lot of times, oh, Annie, I know I'm good. You good, boo. You real good. But like I said, this is, you know, we're doing support, you know, being able to see those different things. We all know we're going through a season of transition in every way. You're going through it within your, you know, you're connecting with your higher self. So it's like, yeah, it's like a frog, but ooh, I don't want to think about it like that. You got a frog in a boiling pan. I don't know what that meant. No. It's like, no, Andy, I'm fucking no. I'm good with that. It's like a frog in the no, I don't want to think about that. But yeah, it just, oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'm like, that just put a hole. I'm like, I've been traumatized. No, it's funny. I'm being funny. I'm being funny. But I don't block myself like that. Anything that's alive and you got it, no. I like my stuff already dead. If I'm gonna eat it, I don't want it to where it's still moving. I ain't about to eat that night. If I was gonna go on the diet, it would have been that night. But it's okay. It's okay. Y'all already know how I am, so it's okay. I ain't poking fun at you, Andy, but I'm making a serious situation and making it funny. But you okay? But I get what you're saying. They ain't about to stay still. When the fire get hot, you got to get your butt out of the kitchen. You know, really is. But you have to understand, Right now, we're all going through heavy transitions. There's going to be days where I just want to be alone. And then why? Like, nobody loves me. You know, why does nobody love me? And you're like, fool, you just said you wanted to be alone. You don't want to be bothered. And you wonder how come you ain't got nobody holding you right now. You don't even know what you want right now. But it's like, you got to understand, you're going to have those days where you just aggravated. You're going to be you probably punch your own self in the mirror like, I'm tired of looking at you. You know, and you be mad at yourself. But you have to understand what we're facing is not easy. It's not. You know, there's going to be days where you just ready to, you know, end everything, jump off a cliff. But then you're going to be running stuff yourself in mid stride. You know, there are going to be days where you just feel like the world's just coming to an end for you. But you have to understand, you're rising in a higher frequency. You're going to get tired. You're going to get tired quicker than usual. Energy is just foreign. It's just going to be, you ain't going to be able to tolerate all that stuff. Yeah, it's like, okay, a frog is opening on water, get hot, the frog don't know it. It's like it won't get out of the pan because it got, no. You're going through a rebirth. Especially if you, I know it's like I listen to a lot of music. And I know it was a song. You already know since you already know what I'm talking about. I was watching, what was it? What was it? Sweet Dreams by Marilyn Manson. I love Marilyn Manson's old music. I don't know about the new stuff, but I love, this is the new shit and Beautiful People and Tainted Love and stuff like that. And all of a sudden you start seeing all these doves and stuff coming out. Or I was watching, the video I used to like, say you feel a full moon. Yeah, yes. Or, I was watching, what was it? Bedtime Stories by Madonna from back in the day. And all of a sudden you start seeing all these, she was showing her going through a rebirth. And she talking about not using words, but just using vibes. We're speaking of, a new issue on how we tend to deal with stuff. Oh my God, my body hurts. But you're going through all these different things where you'll feel your body shift. You'll feel light at times. You'll feel bloated. Like right now, I'm used to sitting Indian style, and that mess hurt. Yeah, Frozen. I love that song too. Frozen is basically, you dealing with Dark Night of the Soul. It's like somebody is like trying to send you love, but you're so focused on negativity, you're blocking that love to come to you. So yeah, I used to deal with that song a lot. I still love it, but it's just like people like, that's just demonic because she's doing all this. This is Kabbalah. Okay. It's all Kabbalah. Now I know what they were talking about, but that was Kabbalah. And she was using that as a metaphor. We're going through transition. We have a lot of pain in our heart, the ugliness of what has been placed on us. Whatever we're dealing with now is what we've been dealing with for the last 5-6 million centuries. We still holding on to the same stuff. Like we were holding grudges for many thousands of years. Like, God dog, don't you think it's time to get rid of that now? Yeah, it's like, yeah, manifest as being, yeah. It's like, oh man, because I wanted to die as an adolescent. I still have my differences. I don't think Kurt Cobain stood up here and killed himself, to be honest with you. But that's between. I was like, he didn't do that, but I'm gonna just leave that one alone. Yeah, he's like, yeah, it's like, no, it's a good song. It's a metaphor, yeah. But it's just like, music is very powerful. It's like whatever, and I tell people, whatever your interest is, that it'll talk to you, it'll communicate with you. Like I love music, family in the industry. So it's like different music that I listen to. I love Madonna. I like Marilyn Manson. I like Slipknot, Disturbed, Coldplay, Limp Bizkit, Gladys Knight and the Pips, Patti LaBelle, my dad, of course, all those different things. So it's just like, I'm very versatile. So a lot of stuff comes to me, through different messages, especially if, you cleaning your house up and you bumping your music. It was like yesterday, Tupac came in, hey, keep your head up. And I'm just like, damn, okay. Or Michael Jackson came in, you ain't not alone. It was like all the different stuff was coming up. Yeah. So it's just like all those different things is like coming to you right now. And it's like all the energy, it's like your transcending energy is like, it's a lot. you know, because you'll feel it. A lot of times you're probably getting spacey. Like if somebody's talking to you and all of a sudden you'll just lose the point of reality right there. And I'm not talking about going crazy, but your vibration done keyed off into something else and you're trying to come back. So it's just like all those different things. Yeah, Metallica. Yo, girl, you went back in the day. Or, you know, what was it? White Snake. It was White Snake Poison. I was listening to Patience by Guns N' Roses the other day. Yeah, it was like, no, I'm not insane. No, nobody said you were insane, Jackson. Like, I'm glad stereo communications to other people. Yes, it does. It does, because it could be like I could be going through something at that time and I'm just listening to music just to allow myself to come up. Next, you know, Creed will come on, talk my arms wide open. Children Don't Start Dancing. My dad, Purple Rain. Certain things will come like that up, you know, especially I can't listen to Purple Rain. I'll start crying and I have to turn it off. I can't deal with it. I'm like, I appreciate it, but no. Some days I'm able to listen to it. Sometimes I'm not. It's like, yeah, no negative self-talk. Yeah, it's going through all that. But it's just you allowing yourself to really recognize things for what they are. Yeah, it's like music is amazing. Like Slash. So, girl, yes, I love Slash. Especially when he played in that, what was that song, Rockstar with Rihanna. He would play the heck out of that daggone guitar. I love it, especially if it's like 5-string or the bass. You know, I love it. Yeah, Creep, I love that one. And it's just, you know, the different stuff. And it's just like you'll notice that the change is really getting intense for you because you'll start separating stuff. Because it's just like me, when I know I'm ascending and I'm listening to music, you can hear the beats all together and then you can separate them. Like you can hear a drum. That certain drum that's like right there at that one time, or you'll hear a cymbal coming in and you can separate the drum from the cymbal, or you can just hear the piano going or a cello in the back. I mean, it's just like that with me. So it's just like so many different things. Is showing you how your mind can, you know, come together and divide different things. And, you know, the movie, there's a new movie called Matrix Resurrection came up. When I tell you, if that's not life imitating art, imitating life, it was just like I saw it the other day, and that mess just like it reminds me of everything that we're going through right now. There are certain things that's being keyed. Yeah, I cry listening to music. It depends on what I'm listening to, especially if they got a good voice and it's just like it really kicks in. I start crying. I'm like, dang, that hit me. Like I heard there's a new song that they put out for Aaliyah today. It was called Poison, and it had featuring The Weeknd. It was just like hearing her voice to say something new. I just got really emotional, and it was just hearing it. It felt so beautiful to hear her, you know, for her first time, like singing in a long time, in many years, but it felt really good to hear that. But it's just like a lot of different things, like even your movies, if you, whatever movies you watch, a lot of things that you're, you know, you have this calling like, oh, I gotta watch this movie. It was, what was I watching the other day? I was watching Mike Flanagan. I love him as a director. He did The Haunting on Bly Manor, as well as Haunting on Hill House. And he was like, yeah, it's like I feel the frequency in the instruments. Yeah, it is. It's like that. And I was watching like Midnight Mass, and it was like I'm that type of person. Like, dang, I seen that character somewhere. Let me see what I found, because it'd be wrecking my brain on where I saw him at. And it was just like, you know, if you go on Google and be different questions somebody asks, like, what's the point on a movie? And it's like all about forgiveness. And then when I felt that, it's like I felt chills on the top of my head, and all my hairs on my arms start standing up. I was like, oh. And it was like when I was hearing it, it's like people going through that. Anyone capable of healing and changing, looking at the big, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It's like, did you ever think we are individuals would change? Look at us now. Amen. Yeah, it is. I mean, it takes a long time to do that, you know, especially if you have gone through so many dark moments in your life. And a lot of that is like a part of our purpose in a way, you know, that we're just like walking jinx. You know, it's like you got all that stuff going on, but it gets to that point like now, because I've been living with pain for so long, and then dealing with grief and trying to heal, and then you're dealing with everything else. It was like I didn't know I was wearing a coat of pain. Like I can take it off and put it back on, but a lot of time I was more comfortable with that because that's what I was used to. So it was just like being in that vibration to where, yeah, I have my bad days, but I'm also allowing myself to understand, yeah, you have a bad day and it's okay. Just don't allow yourself to project towards anybody. But then at the end of the day, I'll start feeling a lot of emotions because I see that I'm not allowing myself to clothe myself in that pain anymore. So you start getting very appreciative, because a lot of times we feel like God don't hear us, but a lot of times we don't realize. It's like when we pray, we don't rehearse our pain for so much instead of us rehearsing that faith with God. So, and it's just like now you're seeing like little things. It could just be the most littlest thing that he brings to impact your life to let you know I'm there. You just had to allow me to come into your life like that. It's like, yeah, it's like we aren't perfect, but we are perfect to us. Yeah. It's like we heal every day from things, and it takes strength to go within. Yeah, it does. And a lot of people don't realize that, because some people are like, oh, why are you so sensitive? And like, look, we're all sensitive, but there's a lot of people for the things that you face. I said that's a lot of strength right there, because you're facing things that that has corrupted and crippled your mind in some kind of way of how you allow people in. Some trauma can be in people's life where they keep people 50 feet away. Like, I'm good. Everybody comes in my life, they're manipulative, because you have dealt with that for so long. When somebody actually comes in your life that's genuine, you have been hurt by so many people. It's hard for you to actually help somebody, or have somebody help you. Yeah. So it's like as long as you can smile, you have to. You got to be able to smile and laugh to keep from crying at times. But yeah, and I mean, yeah, Lauren, yeah. That's good. Yeah, it's like beyond forever grateful. Yeah, because your hardships show you exactly where you need that work at. Because a lot of times if we're angry about things that goes on into our lives, or like we allow ourselves to go back on, with my situation with me, with my children. I love my kids. I'll die for my kids, everything. But there's times I really kick myself over the things that I put them through constantly, or there's things that's been said to me from my kids, and it wasn't, and it was like torture to me in a way, but it was about me not forgiving myself for what I did, even though, I said, hey, mommy wasn't the best mom in the world. I knew what I knew, I didn't know how to do something better when I didn't have that. So it was just like, my mom was there, but my mom, I was already rebelling against her, and she was still going through depression from her marriage, things that was going on with me. She couldn't really say anything at the time. Plus her health was declining. So there was so much, my mom was the best mom she could be. She was strong as hell, but she only gave me what she knew. So it was like we were programmed in a certain way until we allowed ourselves to go ahead and press that reset button. And that's where, you're allowing yourself to see, what, I can't allow this to come in. I can't allow myself to keep giving my children that broken version of myself. I have to heal before they become that broken version of me, And so I had to allow myself the way it got to me, because I was allowing myself. I was not forgiving myself for what I did. Even though I asked for forgiveness, I wasn't forgiving myself. So when I noticed that, then that's where the healing can come in. Yeah, it's like I do feel guilty because I never be able to give them back. You can't, and I understand that, girl. I'm right there with you. You can't take those moments back. And there will be times if I really went back, I really wish that I could have been a better mom to my kids, the way I should have. But it's like a lot of times we beat our own selves up, but we have to know, so much better now. Even though you can't change that thing that you went through brought some kind of light to you of where that huge transition need to take place at. You didn't know what you know now. And a lot of times we still hold ourselves, even though you should hold yourself accountable, but you shouldn't have to crucify yourself every day for certain things that, that happen. If you know better now, that's where you can allow yourself to know, yeah, I was a shitty parent, but I'm trying to do my best that I can change, and it takes a lot for a parent to say they messed up, and there's some folks that be, they'll be blaming everybody else except their own selves. But when you're allowing yourself to be open, saying, yeah, I was broken, so I broke you too, but now I'm trying to mend things together. I know it may take you some time to let me in like that, and I understand that, but I'm trying to do what I can. It's like, yeah, helping people has always helped me. It's like seeing someone who's down and being able to make them smile. It's like no matter how small the act. Yeah, I noticed, like, I can be in the store and I like the way this woman's hair was. And I was like, oh, your hair is so cute. And she was already frowning, but just from me telling her that, I felt how her energy shifted so quick. And you just don't know, because there's so many women that'll sit up here and be, competing against. I'm like, why can't we all just, she's her for her, I mean for me. Why we always got to down the next person? If we all try to help each other lift up, you know how much better this world would be, instead of, allowing us to sit up here and, hating on the next chick or hating on the next dude and stuff like that, and it's just, where you have to be at, and it's just like anytime I can bring realness into somebody's life. Yeah, and I know what you're trying to say, but, going through all those different things, it's like when you can just do the littlest things just to compliment somebody. You can sit up here and see somebody coming in and they're in a suit. I'm like, oh, I like your suit. You're very, conspicuous, very studious, and they may have felt like they weren't, they may not have felt confident, but just for you to give that person a compliment that day, you don't know how you can change that whole person's mindset. Because there are some people, they probably got a new haircut for their wife. And the wife didn't even notice. They're like, oh, okay, I'll see you later. It's like, damn, she didn't even know my new haircut. And you can see somebody, hey, I like your haircut. Did you just get your haircut? You're like, dang, and it's just like that. Yeah, it's just so easy to do that. But we make life so complicated at times, so complicated. It's like now when you see somebody that got a good hairdo, a good body shape, and you may be all out of whack, you trying to get yourself there and you start hating. Me mugging everybody like, yeah, whatever. You can say, girl, you goals. You goals. I'm trying to get like you. And I can be like that. You don't know how much that person probably had body dysmorphia. Looked in the mirror and you see everything wrong. And it's just like, even if you are, a full-figured woman, there's beautiful and full-figured women, but they always try to make us feel like you got to look like this, you got to look like that. And I tell people, yeah, I want to get me a little plastic surgery, but not something that's going to make me look drastic, not make me look animated, but I want to get my little stuff fixed. But I see how people will go through extremes because of how somebody look like on a magazine or, on these social medias. I see y'all know they got Photoshop and stuff like that, right? They got editing. People be paying other people to catch them, make sure they dressing nice. They paid it, they pay paparazzi, whatever, just to make sure that they don't catch them in a bad moment. Yeah. And it's just, yeah. It's a compliment. It's compliment. Yeah. And it's just like, you can build somebody up because you don't know what's going on in the mind. I've seen people that got a perfect figure and they will find, it's like, girl, you see that little birthmark on my arm? I swear, I just want to just take it off. Or I forgot what they call people, that go to the extreme where they want something cut off because they felt, it don't feel right. I forgot what that phobia is. I used to see it on Nip Tuck where people wanted, like, they want to have one leg off. It was something weird. I can't remember what it is, but it was something. I was like, dang, I ain't never heard of that before. But it's just interesting when I find out little medical conditions that people have. And it's all about the psychosis and stuff that goes on. But it's just like when you can just uplift people, and it's just like we have to get out of that vibe where we are being so codependent on codependency. For a long time, I didn't even know what the heck that was. I thought it was just like you leaning on somebody all the time. Like, why are you coming dependent on that person all the time? And I really, and it made me just open my eyes to see what that really meant. And I was just like, wow, I didn't know I was going through that, and you're so used to stuff like that. That's what you're used to. And it's just like, if you finally get into a relationship, that is where that person supports you. They're seeing you as a team member, partnership, not somebody that you're competing against, not against your opponent, not for you to make that person look shut down when they do something good and you didn't. It ain't all about that. It's just about y'all going in as a team. Nobody can't mess with that, and that's something beautiful. Yeah, it does. I said, you hear me all the time, the most strongest people got weak moments. You really do. You have your weak moments at times. Only weak people say, girl, that didn't bother me. It's like before, people used to tell me that, I'm like, oh, okay, God, they strong. No, they're avoiding. They're in denial, and I'm not talking about in Egypt. They're in denial, and those different things. But when you can say, y'all, if you've been with me for a while, you have seen me in my vulnerable points. You have seen me in my most strongest points. There have been times I try to, sit up here and get on here knowing I'm going through a lot of stuff, and I'm trying to allow myself to be positive. Positive Patty, trying to really do that. And it'll be like one of y'all be sniffing that mess out. Girl, you heavy, you okay? I feel you might shut up. Stop sniffing me. I'm trying to do something positive here. I'm trying to leave this negativity alone, But then it's just like at that point, I don't want to be fake. Because if I'm not going to lead y'all to the promised land, I'll be leaving y'all asses over a cliff if I'm feeling that way. So I'm not going to do no videos that day, And it's okay to feel that way. It's like God made us, yeah. And we're perfect in his image. Not the society maybe, but we're perfect in his image. So it's just like we're creating that change that we want to see out in the world. Being able to find some positive techniques. If you're dealing with a vibration of being codependent, not with just your partners, with your children, or even with yourself, if you can do something with your kids where, if you put them down a lot, I've been in situations where I was always, anything that I did to try to prove something good about my life, it was very dry. Like, oh, that was good. That's nice. But what he did? And oh, he was just so awesome. And I was just like, look at me. Growing up, I had to go through that. But if you're so used to that, try to find some like positive interactions with your children. Say, what's the good thing? 3 good things that you love about yourself, or the 3 good things that you can say positive about yourself. Do some activities like that, because it's just like what I hear the other day. I don't know if it's true, but if it was, that was beautiful. Like how Beyonce has her kids go to confidence class. You never want them to have no low self-esteem about themselves. You want that confidence build up. And I said, Dad, if that really does exist, that's a pretty good thing for you putting your kids into that. You should be confident about yourself, because you just don't know. Yes, that's why I sub to your channel. I love you. Thank you, Annie. I appreciate that. I try to be, I'll be honest with y'all. Like I said, I hate crying on camera. Cause I'll be like, oh, okay, wait a minute, y'all about to make me, and I do that. I don't like doing that, because that makes me feel like I'm trying to get attention, because that's not what I'm doing. But God will tell me, hey, they need to see you at your vulnerable points, because you're showing them that you can be affected just like them. And I tell y'all, I don't know how I'm gonna feel the next day. I'm not gonna do that. I don't even give a damn if my enemies hear that. I don't care. That's not a weak point. A point in my life, because I'm actually allowing myself to know I have my good days as well as my bad days. That's everybody. Yeah, that's everybody, and it's just like, I feel like the weakest thing that you can possibly do is you're creating havoc on somebody else because of your life is messed up. People are like that. You are the most unhappy, miserable person. And it's just like, there's sometimes my energy gets so potent, I can hear them crying. And I look, I'm like, are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. You're lying, but okay. I feel you in your vibration, like you're crying, and I'm seeing self-medication. I'm seeing, drug paraphernalia, different things is going on in harsh repeat, repetition. That's what I meant to say, and different stuff like that. Because there's a lot of people that don't want to deal with that pain. They choose to either project it on somebody, see how they can control people's life, or they self-medicate. And right now, with everything going on, the best thing you can do is allow yourself to sit back and enjoy the ride of going through some healing, because you don't want to be those ones that's stuck over there and you just, making everybody feel like they're in their own personal purgatory. You don't want to do that, because when it finally hits you, it's not going to hit you the way you put it out. It's going to go. It's not going, how they say karma, what comes around goes around. No, it's going to come around. It's going to go around, but it's going to be 10 million times harder. And you don't want to do that. Yeah, it's like people's confined to rage. Yeah. They'll be looking at me and I'm like, I had to allow myself to learn how to block that. But you have to be able to do that, because there's a lot of people out here. It's at that point where I can even see harbingers connected with people, and it's like you can be And it's like, wow, Jordan, Jordan, what ride? You a ride that you can't get your butt off of until you get healed. That's just like your mom telling you, get in that damn corner. And when I come back, you better tell me the reason why you're sitting in that corner. It's gonna be one of those. And it's just like, it is rough to be what we do. Because you already know with your empath, you feel things so much deeper than regular people. People are like, oh, that's cool. Oh, it's not. I don't like feeling that. That's heavy. That's really heavy. And it's just like, the more you allow yourself to be open to that, the more sensitive you get. Because it's just like, I can't even watch certain animal channels where I feel like they done been abused, or that the animal is hurt, especially if you're a earth empath. Is that, yeah, ain't no slip and slide though. Yeah, you're going through all that. And it's just like, whenever, if you're that empath that's like, I forgot what it is, just like an animal empath, where you can feel their pain, you can hear their wants, their needs. And the more you're coming into it, like I tell people, you'll know you're ascending, because it'll be just like, when you make a good decision, you'll hear the wind blow. Like if you're, how you go outside and you talk to the universe, you're talking to nature, you'll feel the wind blow. Or you have different animals and birds and stuff, because I know a lot of times when I know I did something good and I feel good about it, all of a sudden I'll feel my thunder beams coming out. I hear the chants, the hey y'all, different stuff like that, and I'll start hearing it. Next thing you know, I start seeing the the eagles coming down. They'll swoop down around me, and I'm like, wow, that's beautiful. It's like, he's like, I didn't ask that. No, I sure didn't, because I be wanting to kick my own ass. Like, no, you signed that contract. What contract? You didn't put that in no. It's like all that stuff, the terms and the terms and conditions. They put that in that was in the fine print. They didn't tell us about that. Like, yeah, I want you to go back to Earth, and I want you to help fix the world. All right, I got that. I'm good. I'm about it. I'm gangster. I'm spiritually gangster. I can do that. But we're going to restart you from day one, and we're going to rich you with the most havoc in the world. What? What? Like, what? Yes. It's like, I have a cat now. Yeah. And you learning, like, I be with myself, like, I want to kick your ass so bad. Like, why? Why did you do that? Like, why did you ask to do this? And it is just like with mine, and it's just like, whatever your gifts are, oh my God. And it's just like, there's so many of y'all that comes to me, and there are certain things that I'll feel, and like, hey, you're this, right? I'm like, wait a minute, what? Because it's just like with you being an anchor. If you don't know what, an anchor, I didn't know about all that stuff, because I was really trying to understand, why did I know about certain people's death? Yeah, good luck, Jackson. Like, good luck. You don't need more than luck. I used to always wonder, why did I know about certain deaths before it came? I don't know the person, but I know if it's like a celebrity, it'll come up. Or I knew it was somebody close to me. Because my friend, she used to know. I was like, Roslynn, do you see a white light around me? Shut up. No, I don't. And stop asking me that. I used to hate that when she used to do that. God rest her soul. She passed away. But it was just like, I didn't know what that was. And it's just like, if they pass and they go through, you start feeling all that stigmata type stuff. Whatever they went through, you go through it too. And I didn't know. I'm like, what is this? Can y'all tell me what it is? Like, you about to know. Next thing you know, I'm sitting up here watching Vampire Diaries with Bonnie. Bonnie had all that stuff going on with her, and she all just afflicted and junk like that. She's an anchor. What the hell is an anchor? Or it's like, it's like, but I don't like people. It's like, I don't like people. You feel lonely, but I don't want to be around nobody. Like, well, make up your mind. What do you want to do? So it's just like all these different things that are taking place. And, you have to really allow yourself to go through that. Yeah, a strong relationship. You have to first, before you want any strong relationship, that has to first begin with yourself. I had to learn that out. You have to have the best strong relationship. It comes with yourself. You have to allow yourself to know, oh, okay, I had a trigger moment, but let me go ahead and allow myself to work on what triggers me. Because it's just like, universe and God will always tell you, there's no enemy outside of you that can trigger you if there ain't no enemy inside. If you still kind of corrupt in the inside, and somebody comes at you mirroring you about what you need to take acknowledgement with, you're gonna know exactly what that was. And now it feels good to me when I see people that come at me and they got their own issues that's going on. And I'm just like, sometimes, like I said before, I'll just block you and not even say nothing. But now it's just like, You just because they like that, you don't gotta join that. You don't gotta join that vibe with them. You can let it coast. Go on autopilot in peace. Like, yeah, it is, and that pisses a person off real quick, especially if they trying to make you mad, and you like, well, it's all about you choose to respond and react to, and I choose to respond to you by not responding, and be like that, and it has to be in that way. You have to really allow yourself to know your strongest relationship has to start with yourself first, and there's different things that, right now we're going through, and just being able to find therapeutic ways on how to deal with your anxiety, your aggression. If you got aggression issues, where is that aggression coming from? Is it something that you went through as a child? Did you get beat on? Did you have family and friends that downed you all the time? They never gave you any kind of support. They never said anything kind to you. Okay, so what do you need to do to fix that so you can no longer be aggressive? This is what God and universe, because it was just like, how I used to do the chat. I'm going to still do the chat, but they wanted me to do something, different too. Y'all know how I just like to do different things on the channel, just to do different. But it's just like, there's so many of us that are going through so many negative circumstances that we really need a positive solution for. We're going to have those moments where you're going through heavy changes in your life. Everybody's going through that. You may feel depressed. What are you depressed about? You have to be able to allow yourself. You have to, because they're telling me you have to write a journal to yourself. Even if you feel a moment to where, you've been really impact. Yeah, it's like, I can't be protected. I need to attack. You do well, hon. It's like, you ain't got to be all like that. But yeah, it's good to keep a journal to yourself. And it's just like, you have to be able to allow yourself to see where your issue is. It lies at. If you have negative thoughts in your mind, there's positive things coming to you, but you're automatically thinking something negative. So I say it just goes to show you how connected we are, that even though that the storyline is different, we're going through. Yeah, that's why, because I was guided, because they said I was going to do a spiritual project, that I had to be able to impact with others or connect with others. And I always felt like, what, holidays, especially the holidays, a lot of people get depressed. There may be a lot of different things that, the pandemic is going on. There's a lot of financial burdens that a lot of people are going through right now. There may have been some people since the pandemic, lost loved ones. So it's just like, we all have something we're dealing with, whether we admit it or not. If you ain't going through some stuff, God bless you. God bless you, but it's just like, what solutions do that's why I even told y'all, if you want me to talk about different things in a video, or when we start our next chat up, chat support, is there certain things that you're comfortable with talking on a public forum with, or even leaving a message like, like on my post or something, like, hey, or even on a video, hey, Roslynn, can you do a topic on this? I love being able to do that, just for me to be able to talk about something, because you never know what another person is going through. Because a lot of times we feel like, is there anybody else that's going through the same stuff am I just the only one who's facing this stuff like that? And then when you're allowing yourself to be open, and that's why I love doing the chats with y'all and being interactive, because you just never know, that next person is going to drop a comment like, what, I'm going through that right now. So it's just really good that I love to be able to interact with people. You got some issues that's going on, yeah, it was a good idea. I love that. Like I tell y'all all the time, this is like a very positive outlet for me, and being able to be on here with people that, that got that same vibe as me. We're all going through a change, and we're trying to go the best as possible, but not all the time. It's not going to go smooth sailing. We have to be able to allow ourselves to know that it's going to be some rough moments. We're going to be rocking the boat a little bit, but make sure if anybody in the boat, they ain't drilling holes. So you got to be able to be very, selective about that. But just allowing yourself to really go through it. You can't allow yourself to numb yourself for it. You have to be able to face that, because the more you can't tend to numb yourself for them, you can't numb yourself towards every single obstacle you have. You have to be able to allow yourself to really go through that. Yeah, it may be hardening, it may be hurting, or it may be hard, just straight hard, to go through, depending on what it is, You have to be able to allow yourself to face it, because there's so many times with me, I used to drink, when I didn't want to face a lot of things. I grew up around family that were heavy alcoholics. They drank a lot. They were functioning. I was, on medication after I got, hit by a drunk driver. So I got addicted to painkillers and antidepressants and muscle relaxers and stuff like that. So that's how I coped. I was very depressed, and it was just like I picked up one habit and dropped another one, I started smoking herb. And it's just like I tell people, if that's what you do day by day, I'm not judging. Because there's a lot of people that deal with it. You can, there's a lot of empaths that I tell them, if you're an empath and you ain't had no kind of addiction, you a good one. And a lot of times when people say addiction, you're automatically thinking, either a drug or alcohol. You have to understand there's more than that. There's people that deal with it. They got body dysmorphia. They got bulimia. They got, what's the other one? It's bulimia and anorexia, self-harm, cutters, masochists. All those different things. People deal with their pain differently by, harming themselves. So it's just like with us, we have to deal with that in a more profound way, because we feel everything deeper than that we should. Than regular people. We feel it like to the core. A lot of times we can walk past somebody and you can hear their thoughts. There's people that I've heard and I had to end up felt like I had to have a bleach bath after that. And it's just like, yeah. And is it Lord Jesus? I don't even know how to answer that. I don't even know how to answer that, because sometimes I'm like, shoot, that's some good pain, but it's just all about what you choose to deal with and how you choose to deal with your sadness, just being able to have positive solutions. If you know that you think negative, what do you want positive to happen to you? It's just like, okay, all I keep doing is allowing myself to think of the negative things in my life that has happened in the past. It's like, okay, that's a prime example of you still being, we can't change the past. We only can let the past, create a solution for right now. You don't judge and you can relate. Yeah. Because there's times I done slipped up and went back on. I was talking to Uncle Bob. I'm like, you ain't gotta worry, it went like that. I can't judge anybody. I've had people judge me and their life was more messed up than mine. Only God can do that, because people ask me, Roslynn, when did you know it was time for you to stop smoking weed? When you asked me that question. It's like, as soon as you ask me that question, and it'll be people that I used to really counsel, and they'll call me and like, Roz, and they want, and I say, you slipped off the wagon, didn't you? It's like, how did you know? I know. He's like, were you going to fuss it? No, I'm not. I'm not going to, what am I going to do? I've slipped off the wagon a couple of times. It's like, you a Scorpio, Jackson. It's like, Scorpio. Yeah, Jackson, are you a Scorpio? I got Scorpio sign. What you trying to say, Annie? But anyways, you're dealing with all these different things. And it's just like, I don't know if y'all do, but if you need to journal, if you don't do it now, and you have to be able to do it, because if it's like, yeah, you try. And it's just like, three of my parents and I are caught. Oh, okay, Scorpio. It's like I am. I thought Annie was trying to be funny because I got, in my sign, I got Scorpio in me. But it's just like, if you don't journal, if you know what you're going through, and they always say it's best to journal. You writing down your thoughts, whether if it's impacting you in a negative way or a positive way. Even if something hits you positive, you should allow yourself. Sun and Mercury. Are you asking a question, or is that what you? Oh, okay, never mind. And you should write that down, because it's just like, they always tell you to start journaling stuff, because especially if you're having issues with your transition on healing, you can always go back to that and you can see where where your solution should be. It's like, Stinger, I'm not dealing with y'all. People want to eat us. You know what? I'm gonna keep my mind to myself, because I was gonna say something. I forgot I was on video. I ain't about to do that. It's like, happy late birthday. I need to get me some more journals. Yeah, because it's just like, you have to be able to write. If you have confusion that's going on with your life, they always tell us to write it down. Because when you start going through that spiritual cleansing, you'll start finding a lot of clarity, because a lot of times it's like we're trying to find solutions for stuff, but our mind is so filled up with the what ifs, or what this person did, or oh my God, I feel shameful for what I've done, I can't forgive myself, this person can't forgive me, and all those different. Maya, plug back in. I know somebody just unplugged it. But y'all, I'm getting ready to come to a close. I'm so tired. And I really appreciate y'all stepping through. I might or I might not have regular chat tomorrow. But yeah, if y'all going through anything right now, please journal it. Write it down. What your thoughts will want to be. What's your wants, your needs. What are you wishing to change? Or even about certain things that's coming up in your pastime daydreams, because right now you're getting a lot of insight and sometimes you get really spacey, so it's taking you off to somewhere, and so they're always telling you it's a secret. But yeah, make sure you're allowing yourself to go through the journals, whether if it's something bad, sad, whatever, and you can be able to come up with solutions. If you have negative thoughts, write down your negative thoughts and write down what's the negative, what you think is the key component on why that vibration was negative to you. Being able to say 3 things to yourself that that you feel loving about yourself, what you feel positive about yourself. And when you start doing that more often, then it's like lifting up, the negative vibrations that we carry. So I hope y'all were able to enjoy this. I did myself. I really love y'all so much. And thank you for the interaction and the constant support. Thank you, Jackson. Much love to you, Annie. Jackson, sis, I don't know if you're still there. You haven't answered in a while, so you probably don't fell asleep. Miss Lauren is like, hey, Pop, what's up? Yeah, Annie, Jackson, Lauren, thank you for coming through. I really appreciate it. I love y'all. I don't know. I don't want to put a definite yes or no on that, but I might have chat tomorrow. And if I do, I'll go ahead and put it up on post so y'all can interact with me then. I hope y'all have a blessed night. Remember, journal, even if it's something in your dreams, make sure you're putting that down, because a lot of messages are coming from. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. So I will talk to y'all later. Much love to you. Have a good night, and we'll talk again. Much love. Peace. Oh yeah, remember y'all, I put in the link up about the Ascension symptoms in case you're still going through that, and it tells you on the different things on why and why not is happening. So talk to y'all later. Much love. Bye.